Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back to Football with James.
Hello.
And there he is. So we didn't see you guys all regular
Yeah,
season.
we took a bit of a break.
We took a bit of a break, but now
We're
tomorrow.
Tomorrow's the playoffs.
That's right. So
And we're gonna recap the regular season.
we're gonna recap the regular season and have a
Yeah.
couple episodes ready for the playoffs. And
Mhm.
we don't really have anything formal here, James. It was an interesting,
Yeah.
interesting season.
Mhm.
What's your biggest takeaway from this season?
So I'm just gonna say I did not expect Denver and Seattle to be the 1 seeds.
Seattle
That seems
surprised
a
me.
bit odd.
Denver was good last year, and I think people expected them to come in and have
I mean,
a
they
better
were in
season.
the best. Some big takeaways: Lions and Chiefs, as we know, didn't make the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
But Chicago winning the division.
You okay with the Chiefs not making the playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, they have the 9th overall pick.
Yeah, ninth
somehow.
overall pick. So you're going to give Patrick Mahomes a top 10 draft pick.
Yeah, but for the first 5 games, they're going to have no one.
You don't think he'll be
quarterback.
back?
Maybe.
For those of you who don't know, Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL. He might be back by then. You don't think so?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay.
What are the takeaways?
It's not a playoff episode. It's a recap episode. So let's get right into the regular season.
Okay.
First big takeaway, there are some great rookies.
Who's your favorite rookie?
It's tough to say. I'd say Ashton Genty.
Ashton Genty, really?
He was a lifesaver in fantasy.
Ashton Genty, I thought underperformed in fantasy. I wasn't that impressed.
In the final weeks, he underperformed, but we're not talking about fantasy.
No, I mean he is a solid running back for the Raiders, who are now all of a sudden looking for a new coach.
Yeah, and they have the 1 seed, and I see a lot of potential in the number 1 overall pick. And with a good quarterback, maybe next year, if not this year, if they get the number 1 overall pick too, and draft a good receiver, I don't know what's stopping them from just having a great offense.
Well, I think coaching is stopping them. You and I have talked about this before. A lot of number 1 picks fail.
Yeah, usually it's the number 2 pick that shines, but you never know.
Yeah, I mean they're probably looking at maybe Mendoza, who's playing tonight from Indiana. He could be the number 1 pick. He could be a nice fit in there. But I think getting the right coach for them is going to be big.
Yeah, coaches. There have been a lot of coaches fired.
Yeah, that's a big storyline.
Yeah, there was Brian Daboll fired, Mike McDaniel fired, Jim Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. Jim's still there. Yeah, I didn't expect that one.
Yeah.
What do you think of that fire? You think he deserved that?
No. I think most of the blame goes on Tyler Loop because
most of the blame goes on Tyler Loop.
Yeah.
The kicker?
Yeah, because when you think about it, they wouldn't really have fired him if the Ravens made the playoffs, I think. And the big reason is because of Tyler Loop.
I don't know, James. John Harbaugh, I think, first of all, is an excellent coach. If the Giants get him, I'd be thrilled.
Yeah.
But he's been there 18 years. 18 years, 1 Super Bowl, with a lot of good players. So I don't think this was a 1-year thing. I don't think it's because of Loop. I think it was built up over time. And this particular year, they expected much, much more. This team was a Super Bowl favorite coming into the season. And to not make the playoffs at all, I think Harbaugh was going to be in trouble if he didn't go far this year.
Maybe, but Tyler Loop deserves some of the blame because if they made the playoffs, it would be a whole different story.
Yeah. But making the playoffs is not everything. I mean, look at Pittsburgh, right? So Pittsburgh won that game. They're making the playoffs. I mean, we'll talk about this at the next episode, but I don't see Pittsburgh beating Houston. So if they just got in and then they lose, does that make Mike Tomlin safe just because he keeps getting into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think no team should ever fire Mike Tomlin. He is a great coach. But also, Pittsburgh does have a chance at Houston. But some teams I see really good potential is, I haven't told this to you yet, but I think Tyler Shuck he has been playing great so far. He looks like a running QB to me, but I'm going to expect a lot.
You're big on him. I got to tell you, I am not super impressed. I think he ended the season stronger than I thought he would be. You know, the Saints had some fight in them. I think they ended up with, what, 6 wins?
Yeah, they were on a really nice hot streak there towards the end, and maybe with a good draft pick, they can maybe
turn it around.
Yeah, maybe even make the playoffs.
So you would build around Tyler? You feel comfortable building around him?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, he's a good quarterback.
You know.
Plus Chris Olave, also great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this team should have been better this year.
I think they outperformed.
Yeah, but
what was their final record? It was 6. Let me see.
They were 6-11.
Hang on, let me go to standings here.
I'm pretty sure they were 6-11.
All right, you might be right. That sounds familiar to me, but I just want to confirm it. So yeah, 6-11.
Yeah, last in their division, but 6-11. They have a chance to win the division next year, from last to first, because it's only a 2-game difference.
Yeah, that division has a new champ.
It's really up for grabs.
It always is.
Because Carolina just won the division. Tampa Bay, they had the MVP at one point with Baker.
Tampa, I know. Tampa really collapsed. I mean, that's a story that's not being talked about very much. They started off the season very strong. I want to say 3-0 or 3-1, and people were, like you said, they were talking about him for MVP.
They just fell off a cliff after that loss to LA.
The one to the Rams.
The Rams, yeah, they just lost like 31-0.
I remember that, but I forgot what week that was.
And when you look at the other teams, you see Atlanta. Kyle Pitts has been great.
Yeah, this was his best year.
Yeah. And New Orleans, as I just talked about, Shuck has been great.
We'll see. You know, I'm not going to knock you on a quarterback because I remember 2 years ago you looked at me and said, I think Drake May is going to be good when he was a rookie. And I'm like, man, Drake May, come on. No way, James. And
now he's great.
He's possibly the league MVP.
Yeah. So I think he is the league MVP.
Well, let's talk about that. So you have Drake May as your league MVP.
Well, no, I never said that. I think he's going to win MVP. If we're talking about real MVP here, like no one on earth is ever going to choose this guy as MVP, but I will. It's Myles Garrett.
You said that to me yesterday.
Yeah, he broke a record. Like, what are we talking about here?
You know, it's a valid point. I think he should be Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he broke one of the most important records in football.
But he did it in 17 games.
Yeah, but most of the quarterbacks were, like, throwing the ball away whenever they saw him. And I think that's part of the reason why it took him 17 games.
So you're saying
and it's also the reason why I call him an MVP candidate and maybe an MVP winner. Because he also forced a pick 6 on Joe Burrow, and he's making a lot of the quarterbacks just throw the ball away.
So you're talking this to me, and I don't know if Deion. This is the Deion effect. So Deion Sanders was probably one of the best cornerbacks to ever play.
Yeah.
His interception numbers are not high. The reason being is when he was in the game, they would not throw to his side of the field the entire game.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's kind of like what you're saying with Garrett. Like when he gets close to a quarterback, they just throw it away. You know what? That's valid. So Drake May, Myles Garrett. I mean, early in the year, people were saying Josh Allen. I don't think he's quite there.
Maybe Stafford. I think Stafford might be the runner-up.
Stafford was phenomenal.
But most of his, like when you look at the actual highlights, most of his touchdowns and stuff comes from garbage time plays.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that's why I don't think he should win MVP.
I hadn't noticed that, actually. I just see the numbers that the Rams are putting up, and I know they didn't win the division. And I know, actually, did you say Seattle? Didn't San Fran win the division? Isn't San Fran the number 1 seed?
No, Seattle beat San Fran.
Did they?
Yeah, on Saturday.
You know what, James? I got a fact check. You might be right, sir.
Dad, we just looked at this.
You're right, Seattle. Okay.
Yeah, Seattle. If you don't know, Seattle beat San Francisco for the division. And another great player this year. He was great last year too, but this year he has just been off. Puka Nacua. You
don't mean off? You mean he's been going off?
Yeah.
I don't know what his numbers were like, but Puka. I think having Devontae there, and having Devontae had a lot of touchdowns this year. Having Devontae kind of balanced that, I'm guessing took away double coverage from Puka.
Yeah,
and
maybe.
If you have these 2 stud receivers that are out wide, single coverage, and you have a quarterback that knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
And they've got a nice running back. Like, Kyren Williams is not a guy you can completely ignore. if the Rams are hitting on all cylinders, I think they are very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
I think they're very,
And
very
I
dangerous.
think another great team, I mean, the 5 seeds this year, they are both Super Bowl contenders. It's the Rams, and the other 5 seed is the Texans.
Oh, you are big on the Texans. You are big
No,
on the
I
Texans.
think, like, every team is. Or
You mean
every
everybody
person is.
I mean, they're on a streak. What was it, 6 in a row, 7
Like,
in a
they
row?
can beat Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do, I mean, no, they can beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And next in line, if the
We're looking at the
Bills,
playoff picture
if
here.
the Bills or Chargers win, next up could be Jacksonville. I
Yeah.
think they can beat Jacksonville, and then that's the AFC Championship, possibly against Buffalo, who they already beat.
Or against New
Denver.
England or Denver, right?
Yeah, but I don't think New England can beat the Chargers.
Oh, you have an upset in the first. Oh, this is a little
It's
playoff preview.
Not really an upset. I don't want to get much into this.
Yeah, we're gonna do a whole other episode on the playoffs.
Yeah.
So we talked about a lot. We talked about our possible MVP candidates.
Yeah.
Who was your surprise team of the year?
Surprise team, gotta be Seattle.
That's a good one.
I mean, they've just been amazing.
I don't think anybody would have had them as
Yeah.
first pick.
And when you
First
look, yeah, they've just been great.
first seed.
And most of these good teams are just because of their defense. Like Seattle, great defense. Same with Denver. Same with Houston. I mean, their offense is just not doing it, but their defense is just so good.
You know what they say? Defense wins champions.
Yeah.
Like everyone's talking about Chicago's offense with Ben Johnson, how it opened up and how they really scored. But
yeah.
a little, what's overlooked is that the Bears have forced an enormous amount of turnovers on defense.
Yeah.
So even in the Bears situation, when you've got an offensive head coach, it's still the defense that's putting them in places to win.
There's been a lot of surprise teams to this year, and I think one other team I want to cover would be just the Cardinals with Trey McBride.
The Cardinals. Oh, Trey McBride. Yeah. We got to touch base on him.
Yeah.
Electric season for McBride.
Yes. I drafted him in fantasy. Excellent.
Well,
Just absolutely excellent.
James won't say it himself, so I'll brag for him. James won his first ever fantasy football championship this year.
Yeah.
And McBride was a big part of that. No, he had a great year. Even when Kyler Murray turned out to be a bust, the whole injured rest thing, I don't know if that's real. I think they would kind of wanted to find a way to get Brissett in there. McBride did not miss a beat.
Yeah.
I thought that when Brissett came in, McBride would not have the same type of numbers.
Yeah, I mean, I think he broke a lot of records.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was only one, but he definitely deserves to be on one of the best tight end years just
of all
for
time.
this season.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal. He was a
Yeah.
phenomenal time. He
Mhm.
had a great year. So the Cardinals themselves as a team didn't do great. You really just want to talk about
Yeah.
McBride.
Mhm.
Any other highlights of the season that you want to go over or that stood out to you?
Not really, but I do want to just make a quick touch on the Chargers. Excellent. Like, they've just been Herbert, really underrated quarterback.
Yeah.
Lad McConkey, not super good. He had some off games.
Yeah, he did have some off games. I thought he was better
Yeah.
last year.
But he also had some pretty good games,
Yeah.
and like giving Herbert some help is really useful. And a decent running back.
The tight end stepped up this year.
Yeah.
Bringing Keenan Allen back to
Yeah.
the Chargers
Mhm.
and having same thing we said with the Rams. You having two big wide
Yeah.
receivers.
And
a decent tight end.
they still can develop
Mhm.
Lad McConkey.
Yeah.
He is pretty young, and with a pretty good defense with Derwin James, I think he's still on
Yeah,
there.
Derwin James is a beast.
Yeah.
Derwin James is a beast.
And
I don't know. The Chargers are good, but
Mhm.
something about the LA Chargers makes me hesitate to put them in that next level as like championship.
Yeah,
contender.
not yet. I just maybe possibly soon.
Yeah, they're
like,
getting
really
there. They got a great coach, and the
Yeah.
culture there in with the Chargers has changed.
Definitely.
But listen, all these teams really have a 1-year trial because 15
Yeah.
comes back for that.
Mhm.
For that Kansas City Chiefs squad, and they retool, and Kansas City I think is going to be right back in there and right
And
back in
I
contention.
also feel like they have really good draft picks over the years with Mahomes being pretty decent, and like
they know what they're
it
doing.
Could
over
happen
there.
again.
Yeah, Andy Reid knows what he's doing.
They know what they're doing. They could possibly draft someone good.
So my big surprise goes the other way with teams, not the teams that did well. I'm quite surprised at some of the teams that did poorly. I did not expect the Lions to miss the playoffs. I did not expect the Ravens to miss the playoffs. I thought the Chiefs would take a step back, but even before Mahomes was injured, they were just fighting for a playoff spot. They weren't really in control of it. And so those three teams really surprised me. I'm going to put the Chiefs aside because they had been to 3 straight championships.
And also, I did say that they weren't going to be good.
You did say that. You said that after the Super Bowl last
year.
Yeah. And I think we knew there was going to be fatigue. We knew they were kind of outmanned in the Super Bowl last year. They didn't look ready.
And Kelsey having...
Yeah, he probably played 1 year longer than he had to.
It's just a decent season, but it's not super good for Kelsey.
Not for him. He's probably still close to 1,000 yards, but not his level. So take that team aside. Ravens, Lions, very disappointing. Very disappointing.
The Ravens, I've got to agree with you.
Yeah, the Ravens, Lamar was injured for a couple of games, but they had Derrick Henry the whole year. They had the defense the whole year. They had the coach the whole year. They should have been better. And the Lions, I understand you lost Aaron Glenn as your defensive coordinator, and you lost Ben Johnson as your offensive coordinator. I understand that. But the team was still built the way it is, and they didn't change their system very much. I expected more out of the Lions. And I think this is an early hot take. I think Dan Campbell's job is in trouble if they miss the playoffs again next year.
Maybe.
That's I'm going to say that early now. Nobody's talking about Dan Campbell in trouble because he's such a great coach. But I think they miss the playoffs next year, 2 in a row now with that roster. He's going to be on the hot seat.
Yeah, definitely. I think let's give some awards here.
Okay.
The best division is by far the NFC West. With Seattle,
I would agree with that.
With Seattle, San Fran, Los Angeles, and Arizona with McBride. If McBride has like one really good game, they could possibly beat one of them.
What was Arizona's record anyway? Let me look it up.
I think they were really bad, like 4-11 maybe.
4-11. I don't think they were that bad. Oh, you're right.
They were 3-14.
3-14.
Yeah.
So somebody would argue that
4-11 is 15 games.
That's okay. So a lot of people are saying the NFC North is a better division. Actually, that division. No. Well, hold on. I know the NFC West.
I'm gonna have to say just no.
hold on. I'm looking something up. Okay. No, I'm gonna push back on that a little bit. Yes, the NFC West has 3 teams with 12 wins or more.
Yeah.
No other division has that, but their last team has only 3 wins. If you go into the NFC North here, 11-6, 9-7-1, 9-8, 9-8. I mean, they had 2 9-8 teams that didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, Minnesota was out of the playoffs like midway season.
But
they were
4
doing really
teams
bad.
with a winning record in one division?
Yes, but Minnesota got most of their wins after they were eliminated from the playoffs, and most of those wins came from benching players.
You mean against other teams?
Yeah.
Minnesota, I think, has a quarterback issue right now, too. I don't think J.J. McCarthy's the guy.
Yeah, he's not, okay? He's just not.
They're going to have to draft a quarterback, and they don't have a very high draft pick.
Yeah. Best team, like a really nice Super Bowl contender for our next award. I'm going to have to go with a team with a really good, a decent offense, better than average, and a really good defense, Seattle.
You like Seattle as your Super Bowl contender? You just said earlier you liked Houston in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 teams in the Super Bowl.
Okay, all right. So what is this award? This is your best overall team award, Seattle?
Yeah.
Okay.
And you also have to just think about the team with the best offense. By far, I'd say the Rams.
I think the Rams are explosive. Yeah. I actually like the Rams to go to the Super Bowl.
But accounting for defense, I think Seattle is a really good contender with a great defense, possibly better than Denver's. Not yet, I don't think, but with Denver's guys getting older and Seattle is...
I know your favorite Denver player.
Yeah, it's Nick Bonito.
Yeah, James is big on Nick Bonito. The guy's an animal.
Yeah.
He comes off the edge and it's like lightning in a bottle.
Yeah, and Seattle also has a really good defense. I'd say a much better offense.
Yeah.
with Sam Darnold and Jackson Smith-Njigba. Actually,
Oh, JSN. How did we
haven't-
not talk about him yet?
Okay. He's the second best receiver. Period.
Second best. You still like
Puka?
Puka? You like Puka more than him?
Yes, I do like Puka.
Well, Puka's done it longer.
Mm-hmm.
He's had a couple years. I'd like to see
Yeah.
JSN do this again next year, and then we'll see.
He has been one of the best receivers. If you drafted him in fantasy, that was like an automatic win.
Yeah, I mean, he was
Because
great.
if you got Puka and
Don't
Smith-Njigba,
forget it.
like first, second, and third rounds, Puka could have won in the first or second. Smith-Njigba won in the third for most drafts, and they were just much better than people expected them to be.
Those may have been the best two receivers this year.
Yeah, I'd say they were the best two fantasy players all
I was
year.
impressed with George Pickens' growth this year.
Yeah.
I thought he played very well.
I think it's mostly because of Dallas and Dak Prescott just playing
he had a phenomenal year.
top 5
I
quarterback.
think so too. Under the radar. But Dallas is in trouble. They're doing some very interesting, personnel decisions. I would not have let go of Micah Parsons. I understand why he did it, and I understand that I have some friends that are Cowboys fans, and they say Micah wasn't always a big game player. But he's still a game changer, game wrecker. So I think that was a big storyline early in the year.
And
What
also one thing, we talked about Denver. We didn't get to RJ Harvey.
The rookie.
He's been a really great rookie. Maybe better than Genti, I don't think yet.
Mm-hmm.
But Genti has had some off games against good teams.
Yeah.
And I just don't think the Raiders have that good of an offensive line.
No, they don't.
And Denver has, I'd say above average, and RJ Harvey also catching a lot of balls.
Yeah.
And just good.
He's going to have a good career. Denver has a
Yeah.
history from producing good running backs also, so he's going to have a good career. I think that's a pretty good summary of the season. So that's our summary. That's our season recap. We're going to push out another episode before the playoffs and give you our playoff predictions. Happy to be back on screen here. So how do you say goodbye to people?
I don't know.
He forgot. Get out of here.
Yeah, I know. And I just want to say, if Tyler's show is good, Tyler Shuck, I called it.
Okay, you heard it here first.